Well, you probably already know sales taxes are one of the largest sources of revenues for state governments.
Yeah, according to ehow.com, the three biggest uses of sales tax revenue are transportation expenditures in the form of highways, roads, and bridges, public education, and aid to local governments. But sales taxes can vary from state to state.
For instance, the highest sales tax rate is 9% in Arkansas, Louisiana, Tennessee, and Washington. So how does Delmarva stack up? Well, in Maryland, the state sales tax is 6%. In Virginia, it ranges between 5.3 and 6% based on where you live. And in Delaware, there is no state sales tax.
Okay, but Delaware's got to get the revenue from somewhere. So where?
Well, here to help us understand where Delaware gets the cash is WBOC's Kent County Bureau Chief Michael Chesney. Thanks, Michael, for joining us. So first of all, there's no sales tax, but
Correct.
They have to come up with the cash somehow. So where does it come from?
Yeah, one of the big ways is something called gross receipts tax, and gross receipts tax is a tax on the total gross revenue that a company brings in. A little complicated, a little bit more complicated than a sales tax, but you're right, the state does not have a sales tax, so it's got to get it from somewhere else.
Okay, so if we look at the receipt, we'll see that.
No, and that's really what we're kind of talking about here. If you look at a receipt in Delaware, you're never going to see the words gross receipts tax on it, which is why some people would consider it to be a hidden
Yeah, Michael,
tax.
that doesn't seem fair at all.
Well, there are definitely people who would say it's not. Of course, other people would counter that the state's got to bring its money in from somewhere. It's got to take a cut of the business interactions that are happening from somewhere. But yeah, if you're the point that people who believe it's hidden would make is that if you don't actually get to see where it is in the price, then it's not fair to you.
Okay, so what if a small mom and pop store has something on sale, and this thing happens where, you know, is this a hidden tax or not? But then you've got a big chain that advertises something. They don't change the price for Delaware, do they?
No, and two things. One, a lot of mom and pop stores don't actually even pay gross receipts tax in the first place.
Okay.
Only if you're making $1 million of revenue over the course of a year do you even pay gross receipts. So a lot of mom and pop stores, it's not in there in the first place.
Okay.
And then the national ones, like you mentioned, if it costs you $1,000 for a TV at Best Buy, that TV is going to be $1,000 no matter where you go. Best Buy wants you to pay the same price nationally. In Maryland, it's going to cost you $1,060 because of sales tax. Delaware, it's still going to cost you $1,000, and then Best Buy has to eat the gross receipts tax out of that. So in that case, hypothetically, you're not paying gross receipts tax. National chains and regional chains who are setting their prices like that.
All right, Michael, that leaves a lot of questions. Is it fair? Is it right? Could there be a change in the future?
And of course, if I told you the answers to all those questions, you'd have no reason to watch tonight at 11 o'clock. So I'll just say, tune in tonight at 11 o'clock and we'll have answers to those.
All right, Delaware's hidden sales tax tonight on WBOC News at 11.
Michael, thanks for coming in.
Thank you.
Well, still ahead on Delmarva Life.
We are just minutes away from revealing the winner of the neatest roof on Delmarva.
Spicer Brothers Construction asked you to vote on who should get a new roof, and you did just that. Brian is about to surprise the homeowner.
Jimmy and Lisa, we are just minutes away from surprising the big winner. She has no idea that she's even won this brand new roof, but we're going to surprise her with it. You don't want to miss it. Stay with us.
But first, we have a seat waiting for you in the Delmarva Life audience. We'd like to have you here. To book your seat, just visit delmarvalife.com and click on the show tab. It's right there on the right side of the page, the ticket tab under For Our Audience, or you can just give us a call, 443-880-9116. Delmarva Life, we'll be right back.